Welcome to WOLANG Wednesday. We're here, we're ready, and we're getting started with number 6 in our series of Start with Comprehensible Input, how to get started in your classroom with maybe an idea that you've tried, you're a little bit familiar with, or maybe you're just trying to brush up your skills on all things a proficiency-oriented classroom. Hey, my name's Devin, and if you're new around these parts, I am the teacher author behind La Libre Language Learning, and I especially like to hang out with French and Spanish teachers, but this is a training for all world language teachers. So if you're ready, let's go ahead and get started. Today, I am showing you a super outrageously quick lesson on what does a comprehensible input rich lesson actually look like. So we're going to jump into a demo lesson. You ready? I know you are. So let's get into it. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen so that we can get into the nuts and bolts of what we got going on today. And while I am getting this set up, y'all, let me know, where are you watching from? And is it cold where you're at? Because I am so excited for fall that I'm finally starting to wear some fall clothes that I've had tucked away for a long time. But fall in Charleston just means that it's 2 degrees, slightly chillier. So I'm wearing all of these clothes. It doesn't really make any sense, but I'm really excited about it. So let me know, what does it look like in your area now that it's officially fall? Does it actually feel like it? And are you stoked about it as I am? Let's get into it. We're gonna do it. We're gonna learn about CI today. Yeah. All right. Bam. So, hey guys, this is me again. If you have any questions about this presentation, feel free to hit me up at the email address over there, and you can find me at all the places. And today I'm actually going to show you something from my TPT store that is a free download to help you with this. That's going to be our free demo lesson today. So I'm going to get you that link as soon as it is time for that, but you're going to need it for class today. And let me jump in here and make sure that everything is working well. Could you also let me know in the comments below that you can see and hear clearly and all that good stuff as well, because that would be so outrageously helpful to me. Oh, yay, good. It looks like we're good. Amazing. All right, let's jump on in. So you can find me in all of the places here, and I have a new way that we can hang out on Facebook. I just started a Facebook group. I don't know why it took me so long to do this, but we are jumping in with, this is actually the last time that I'm going to be broadcasting this on my page, or if you're watching this on YouTube, hey, YouTube fans, we love hanging out with you. But if you're watching this, then this is the last time it's going to be broadcasted on my page, because from now on, we're going to be broadcasting, whatever you want to call this, the whole like Zoom life, from the Practical Proficiency PD group with me. So you should come and join that, because I'm going to be doing these live classes that are forever free inside that group from now on. So I'll get you the link for that after the class as well. Boom. Now, before we get started with the content of today, as always, this is my favorite tradition of class, because it's good to build good habits, right? You always know what to expect, and you also are able to move forward with tiny actions every time that you and I hang out together when you know what to expect. Same thing for your class as well. I know that you love routines the same way, but I always like to start a class with this simple practice. And by the way, Oprah does this, so it's a great idea. Before you start anything, set your intention for what you hope to get out of it, and then set your action plan for what you hope to act on in your teaching life after you and I are done hanging out together. Because I'm going to ask you again at the end of class. And this is my new favorite theme of the 2% better rule, because I'm going to ask you again at the end of class, so make sure you remember it. You don't have to remember it. I'll remind you, but be thinking about it as we learn together today. The question is, what are you going to get out of our time together? Why are you here? What is the burning question that you might have about proficiency-oriented teaching? Or maybe you're just curious and you're just ready to learn something new. But here's the next step that's actually going to make the difference for you, is time is your most valuable asset. So what's that one thing that you're going to take into your practice after you and I are done learning together? And it's got to be this week. Like you can't put it on your calendar for next month. It's got to be something simple and small, practical and doable that you can do. I have an idea for you today that you can even try tomorrow. Promise you, you're going to love it. But what are you going to do this week if it's only one thing? And we're going to focus a little bit more on the 2% better rule. So we'll get back to it. Okay. So be thinking about what is that intention. So today we're talking about class number 6 out of 12. So you can grab the full schedule below. I'm going to post it at the end of class. You'll be able to see the whole schedule for what's going on. It's every single Wednesday at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You'll be able to join in on these classes live, but it's cool if you can't make that time. I know that doesn't work for everybody. You can always watch the replay forever and ever. You're welcome. Don't even worry about it. But if you want to engage live, then you can come at 4 p.m. and the whole list of what's we got going on with the Start with CI series is in there. So I'll post it at the end of class. Make sure you grab it. Today, we're talking about what does a lesson actually look like? So we're going to do a demo lesson today. Now, before we start with this, because you can find a lot of demo lessons online. You actually can. I was actually surprised by how many there are on the internet. Well, I fell into a huge rabbit hole when I was first starting with comprehensible input and trying to figure out how these methodologies rich in comprehensible input actually work. There's a lot out there that you can really watch. There's a lot. And here's the truth that I want to present to you today. I am no longer in the classroom, but when I was a good teacher. I was a very, very good teacher. I miss it a lot, but I'm not a comprehensible input expert teacher. I never was, and I never claimed to be. What I'm really good at is making sure that you don't have any excuses for trying something that's going to make your teaching practice a lot easier. That's what I'm good at. And I made this demo lesson for you so that you would feel really empowered to try something that's simple, doable, and you don't need to be an expert to do. It's probably close to what you're already doing, and you could do it tomorrow. You literally could. You could do it tomorrow. It's applicable to any vocabulary lesson, any kind of new grammar lesson that you're trying to, and I say lesson, but like any kind of concept that you're trying to present, anything that you know, we all use it, but it's kind of a forceful term, but anything that you have to teach, like anything that's in the curriculum. This I use specifically for introducing past tense to my French 2s. We use past tense a little bit, but we were like really digging into it in this concept. So I'm asking you, seriously, like scratch out your vocab intro or whatever grammar introduction that you have planned next. Try this idea on for size because it's hella simple and you don't need to have any training to do this. You don't need any training. Training is important, but you can get that later. Like this is definitely a long game and it's a slopey mountain. Okay. Like you don't want to be like getting stuck in all the times that you're going to trip up because it's going to be a lot. So go for the low hanging fruit and try a few things that are easy and you'll see how much better this method works without all the friction of trying to figure out something that's completely new. Like one of my favorite things to do in the classroom was clip chats. And Allison did an amazing presentation on clip chats at Practical and Comprehensible this summer and exactly how you can make that happen. She's a freaking expert in clip chats. I like dabbled in clip chats and did it a little bit because I thought it was fun. But after that training, I'm amazed at how little I truly know about them. So it's the more training that you get, the better that you will get as a comprehensible input style teacher, whatever you want to call it. But you don't need training to do what I'm going to show you how to do because it's really just a different style of presenting and talking to your class. That's really it. You don't need to know anything fancy about questioning methods. You don't need to know anything. And no, it doesn't have to be perfect because I want you to try this tomorrow. If you are somebody who is really into the idea of proficiency style teaching being the way that you want to go, and if you're watching this, I'm assuming that you are, then there's nothing holding you back after you watch this lesson because you'll be able to see that like, this is simple. This is something that I can do even on me like absolute train wreck disaster day. This is your starting point. Because guess what? I recorded a Flipgrid lesson that I did during an absolute train wreck disaster day. You're welcome. So it's not an amazing lesson and it's not a perfect lesson, but it's a pretty dang good example of how to put comprehensible input rich language into a lesson with like zero training, because I never really had a lot of comprehensible input rich training while I was teaching in the classroom. I just knew it was the best, so I tried it. So without further soapboxing and further ado, here's what you need to do. We're going to watch this demo lesson here, and then we're going to talk about this 2% better rule. Before I show you where this is, it's going to be a free download on TPT. It's a short video. It's like about 7 minutes, I think. And I'm going to give you that link after class if you want to see it, but there's two versions of it. There's a Spanish version because I was a Spanish teacher, but the year that I recorded this, I only taught French classes. So I had French 1 and French 2s. And this was a demo lesson for my French 2s. And I want you to understand that this is an example of like, this was a total trash day for me. Like I was struggling. It was April 2020. We were completely virtual, asynchronous, and I was teaching right behind me. And I was a wreck. Like my 4-year-old was running around the house, and I wouldn't say causing a bunch of chaos because that's just like what he does on the reg, but he's a good kid. But I needed something low prep and easy because there was a lot of stress going on. I mean, you remember what that was like. So this is my way of saying that you can do comprehensible input rich lessons. Like I wanted to show you like kind of one of my low days so that you would feel confident to try it. Now let's dive on into what you need. Okay, so here's where you need to go. It's going to look different because it's on my page and I'm already logged into my TPT account, but you don't need anything except this link. And I'm going to get that to you and I'll show you exactly where it is. But it's called How I Still Use CI in Distance Learning, a demo lesson. And I recorded this so that you'd be able to see, and plus because I like recording videos and editing videos, but so that you would be able to see that a proficiency-centered lesson doesn't have to be fancy. So let's dive into this so that you can see what it looks like. Let me make sure you can see everything here. Looks good. All right, let's jump in. Yeah, this is me a year and a half ago on this wall. So what's going on here is I'm about to record a Flipgrid video because that was the only way that I could really talk to my students. I didn't really have access to Zoom at that time. This was all I had. I had to figure out some way that I could still talk to my students. You probably have a lot more avenues, but I was kind of stuck. So I was using Flipgrid, and Flipgrid has a 5-minute recording limit. So I had very little time to get French into my students' heads. And I didn't really have any supplies because, you know, like everybody else, I was kind of, you know, given a day's notice. So I went to my classroom and brought home like all my Sharpie markers and all this flip chart paper and my computer, you know, like the whole deal. We don't have to live through it. We all live through it. But what I did was I made anchor charts, and the activity is I'm going to try and show students how to talk about, it took about 15 minutes for both charts. So it wasn't huge prep, but I needed to find a way to make past tense a livable, meaningful example of a communication and what was actually going on in their lives without it getting like too touchy or personal, because things were really hard right then. So I thought, like, let's talk about routines and what they did that day, because we couldn't do weekend chat. So this was my version of doing weekend chat with them. And I gave them some examples to roll with. And the way that I made this comprehensible as much as I could was that I just drew pictures with what was going on with the words. That was kind of my favorite way to do this. In my room, I had a lot of whiteboards, but I didn't have access to my room. So I was, of course, just writing on the walls. But you could do this with slides, right? And then you'd be able to keep it forever. I found a little error there. Real life, not perfect. I make errors all the time. Let me try to stop speaking here.
Seeing your beautiful faces. And since I'm so curious, je veux savoir, I want to know, qu'est-ce que tu as fait ce matin? Qu'est-ce que tu as fait ce matin? Moi, je me suis réveillée et j'ai joué avec mon fils à 7 heures du matin. J'ai mangé du céréales et un œuf. So what time of day must it be with all the things that I've been doing so far? J'ai mangé du céréales. What meal time must that be? J'ai mangé un œuf et il est 7 heures. Il est 7 heures du matin. Tweet. What time of day is it? J'ai joué avec mon fils. Mon fils. J'ai joué. J'ai mangé du céréales et un œuf. Et j'ai bu du café. Ça, c'est ma tasse de café. J'ai bu du café. J'ai écrit des emails. J'ai écouté de la musique. 5 choses que j'ai fait ce matin. J'ai joué, j'ai mangé, j'ai bu, j'ai écrit, j'ai écouté la musique. So what are 5 choses que tu as fait ce matin? Your matin might look something like mine. These are 5 things, 5 choses que j'ai fait. But I have some ideas for you. If yours are different. Take a look here. Ce matin, this morning, ce matin, j'ai fait, you did this, peut-être les devoirs, les maths, anglais, il joue encore, here, il joue, les sciences, j'ai fait la linge, maybe you have to do some chores, la linge, c'est ça. J'ai fait rien, maybe you did nothing, j'ai fait rien. J'ai parlé, oui, c'est l'heure de jouer. J'ai parlé avec mon ami or mon petit ami. Remember, ami, you add that extra E. Pour les filles. J'ai parlé, bla bla bla. J'ai lu un livre. Peut-être ma tablette. J'ai lu ma tablette pour le matin. Ou, if you guys sat down black hole, j'ai surfé sur l'Internet. So, 5 things you could use. J'ai fait les devoirs, ou la linge, ou j'ai fait rien. J'ai parlé avec quelqu'un, peut-être ta sœur, ton père, ou ton grand-père, ou tes amis. J'ai lu un livre ou la tablette. J'ai surfé sur l'Internet. Alors, dis-moi 5 choses que tu as fait ce matin.
Et c'est ça. That's everything for that video. So there is a Spanish version that you can see, but it's the same thing. I just did it in Spanish for Spanish teachers as well. And I'll get you this link so that you can see everything. and make sure that you are able to access that as well in case you want to watch it again. But that's the whole lesson. That's what I did for that chunk of the lesson. And I did the same thing the next day. So what was the follow-up activity? 5 choses que tu as fait ce matin. I asked them to try it, and they were supposed to record their answers, which they did on Flipgrid, you know, like by doing this, by like putting it right next to their eyeball so I couldn't see them, and just like speaking into their camera, which is cool. And then I listened to everybody's and gave them a little bit of feedback, and then moved on to a different lesson. And that was the CI that they had that day, or I guess you could say, you know, the input that was comprehensible to them that day. So no, it wasn't a perfect lesson. There were some mistakes in there, but it was rich in input that the students could understand, because that was a day that I didn't get a lot of emails about like, what was I supposed to do? Or what does this part of your lesson mean? And they couldn't look up things in Google Translate, which was also really cool, because that was a big thing for asynchronous teaching. So this I wanted to share with you because it was also, you know, a day where I didn't have a lot of time and I needed to make something quick that would still be good quality input for my kids. So I hope that that helps you with maybe some ideas of, although your classroom situation, I'm sure, is different right now, you could easily do the same thing tomorrow with however you would like to present any type of vocabulary. Maybe like, I know this time of year, I was always doing with my Spanish twos, I was always doing family unit with my Spanish twos. So it would be like time to break out the family tree and talking about family. And you could do the same thing with 5 maybe family members and talking about your family tree in the same way. And then you'd have some time after you tried it once or twice to make it a little bit more interesting than that lesson was, you know, because the first time you want it to work. The second time you want to make it really engaging and fun. So here's the 2% better rule that you've heard me talk about so many times. Let me check my time and see where we're at. Oh, we're so good. We're golden. Here's the real deal about what often happens, especially if you're new to this and you're trying a new method. Take it from somebody who has done this exact thing. Is if you're trying a lot of CI type lesson plans or ideas, if you're anything like me, you want to dive right in and you want to try all of it, and you want to try all of it at once because you're really excited about it. You've seen how it works for other people, but that doesn't really work out very well. What happens is, you don't have time to do everything, and not everything is right for you. So if you try all of it all at once, you spend all of your time and energy trying to make all of those new things work at once, and then you don't have any time or energy left for keeping that momentum going for when it starts to get hard. Like when you really hit that moment in October, in November, where you're ready to just keep that ball rolling and you want things to still be successful in your classroom, but you're not trying to do new things every single day. That's really hard, especially right now when you probably have new things to juggle every other second with COVID protocols. Like that is not the life you want to be living. But 2% better adds up really fast. So I highly recommend that you add 2% better to your weekly goal. What does 2% better mean? 2% better means that instead of trying everything all at once, you say to yourself, this week, I'm going to speak 2% more in the target language. Today, I'm going to use 2% more proficiency-oriented ideas. This week, I am going to spend 2% of my total time trying to make maybe one new idea work. And I'm going to try it for 2 weeks before I add something new into the mix. How does this work? It's the value of building habits. It matters so much more than huge strides. And this is a universal principle to any kind of new habit that you're trying to build in yourself, right? So I just ran my first 10K and now I'm training for a half marathon. And I thought when I started my training program, like this looks nuts. Like, how is there not more running in this program? Because I've always kind of just like run for fun and fitness. I've never run for distance, except, you know, those like 3 years when I was in elementary school. So when I was on the cross country team, I haven't done it since then. Point of the story being, I looked at the training program and it's, like 30-minute runs, 3 to 4 times a week, and then 1 long distance run on the weekend. I was like, what is this? Like, don't I have to go hard every day? What is happening right now? And I'm doing these like little in between strength workouts as well. And I'm lifting these baby weights. Like, this is doing nothing. Like, I don't understand. These workouts I don't feel like I'm training for a 10K right now. And then of course, the distance run hits you on the weekend. And you're like, oh, okay. Now I get it. The week is to prepare you for the hard things that are coming. And it's to build up the habit of to keep running on tired legs. That is what I learned from my very weird marathon training schedule, is that, yeah, you don't go hard every day. You don't. And it's the same thing with teaching. You don't go hard with new strategies every single day, because the idea is to try new things consistently and to still feel good about it and still like you love your job. Like you love your job by the time you hit November and December. That's what you want. You're not trying to do completely new proficiency-centered ideas every single day. This one is a quick hack. Just try, instead of maybe presenting what past tense structures look like, ask your students to talk about what they did yesterday by giving them a couple examples and then asking them to try it. That's just a quick and easy thing. That's what 2% better means to me. It's the idea of slowly building up habits. It matters more than huge strides because it'll add up really, really fast. All right, so let's get at them. Now that you know what 2% better really looks like, what's one thing that you're going to do this week? What's one thing that you're going to do this week? Tell me. And maybe what's something that you're already doing that you're really excited about that's proficiency centered? Because I would love to hear about it. All right, y'all. I'm excited to see where your progress is at. I'm going to check all of these comments here. And I'm also going to go in and add those 3 links that you need below. And so here's a little bit of a review of what you need and a peek at what's next. So first, I'm going to put in there the Start with CI series schedule so that you can see all the other classes that we got going on. And I also have a freebie for you. If you have not heard about this ebook, you need it, man. You need it. Go to lalibrelanguagelearning.com/toolkit, and you will be able to get over 20 pages of tips, instructional guidance, help, everything that I've learned from consulting and instructional coaching for proficiency-oriented teachers, and all kinds of good ways to make the transition to proficiency easier for you. It's the guide, it's the toolkit, it's the roadmap. It shows you exactly where you need to go and in what order. So make sure that you grab that. And then I'm also going to put in the link for the demo video that you saw today, as well as a link to the new Facebook group where you can join all of these classes live. Woo. Sorry, printer. I'm so excited that I'm breaking my equipment. I can't wait to hang out with you live in this Facebook group. You can hang out at PD with La Libre, and I will see y'all there. Folks, that is our class. That's a wrap. Thanks so much for being here, and I will see you next Wednesday with class number 7. Bye for now. Adiós. Chao. Que te vaya bien.